What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Shane and welcome to another episode here on 5-Star Cars car discussion channel on YouTube. And today's episode is going to be a bit different from what I usually do, but a video I've been looking forward to doing for a while. Basically just showing you some of my old modified cars from back in the Fast and Furious days, just to give you a bit of an idea of what kind of cars, what kind of way I like to modify cars, and I'll give you a backstory to kind of the cars I had and my input and thought behind modifying them. Now I'm a bit older, I wouldn't go as extreme with what I've done, but I wouldn't be too far off it either. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, guys, thanks very much for clicking on the video. Check out my other videos. I want to do vlogs, car projects, but mostly it's a car discussion channel because where I live there is no supercars or modified cars really. So hopefully you like this kind of stuff, and do get involved, hit the like button and do comment below. I bring up your comments every Sunday as well. So let's jump into today's video. So just before I show you the first picture of my very first modified car, guys, let me just give you a kind of a backstory idea from where I ended up kind of doing this. So I got into the modified car game very, very late. I remember the first Fast and Furious film came out in 2001. I was always into cars. I started getting into cars around 99, 2000. My friends started modifying cars way before me. I was a very late bloomer. So my friends started modifying cars from like when they were 17 up until around 20, 21. I started modifying cars when I was around 21. So I didn't have the money like they did to actually modify cars. And I started modifying cars when the show car scene was around and Fast and Furious. Just think of it this way: when it peaked and there was a long gap for peak, I started when the peak started declining. I came into modifying cars at the wrong time and spent a fortune. So yeah, that's kind of where I ended up kind of doing it. My friends has left modifying, they'd sold all their cars and decided to get out of it and start saving for houses and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I ended up kind of doing it. So without further ado, my very first modified car, it'll come up here. Yes, I know. So let me explain this one. This is a Peugeot 306 1.4. I think it's around 90 brake horsepower. You have to understand, guys, here in Ireland, it is very, very expensive to insure your car. At a young age, when it's your first car, I think my car insurance in this was like 2,000 euros when I started, maybe a bit more, on a 1.4 litre. So lucky enough for me, I was living at home, I had a good job, and I just wanted to go nuts with it. I got a full wide arch custom body kit. That front bumper is from a Golf, and got the chrome wheels. I got a custom paint job on this thing as well. So my friend worked in a body shop. He was an apprentice, and he did all the moldings, sprayed it a Ford ST orange with a gold pearl, and I really liked this car. I never got to finish it the way I wanted to, because what happened was I had an interior planned out, a sound system, headlights. I was going to swap out the engine for a Glanza turbo engine, and a few other bits and pieces. And yeah, as you can see, guys, the wheels, I get it, they're well tucked in. What happened was I ended up, when I was just about to start modifying this car and finishing it, the next car that's going to come up was my Supra. A Supra came up in Northern Ireland. Back then it was pretty, they were really cheap. I mean, I always wanted the Supra ever since Fast and Furious, and it came up for around £4,000. £4,000, and I was like, I have to have it. I wanted to upgrade. My car was too slow, going to car cruises and all that kind of stuff. It was just too slow, and it was time to upgrade. So I ended up, I just put wheel spacers on my car, on a Peugeot, and this car came up. I was like, right, I want Supra, I gotta sell this. Lucky enough for me, a car collector guy knew that the car scene, modified cars, were probably going to be on their way out. He basically just came in and goes, hey, I'll buy the car off you, and I'll buy it off you for 2,500. I was like, sweet, fucking snapped his hand off. I bought that car for 400 euros. I put around 5,500, 6,000 euros into my first modified car. Sold it for 2,500. Bought the Supra for 4,000. And yeah, the Supra come up here, and yeah, I ended up modifying the Supra. So when I got the Supra, I had to change the plates. To change the plates on the Supra, because remember guys, I'm in the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland is UK, we're not part of the UK. So when I want to change over the plates, it cost me around 2,000 euros to do it. It's, you know, as I said, it's pretty expensive. So I changed over the plates. I had to wait a while because I wanted the car modified first. And I put around into the Supra, I put crazy money into that car. I think I put around 12,000, 14,000 euros into the Supra. Full custom body kit, like it got it custom made from the UK. That cost me 1,400. First set of wheels cost me like 2,500. First set of coilovers cost me 1,200. You know, the new headlights cost me another like 450 or 500. They cost me for the brand new headlights. What else did I get? My Supra, guys, was a non-turbo. I had the 220 brake horsepower and 209 foot-pounds of torque Supra. I was no way going to get insured in a twin turbo, and this Supra was my daily driver as well. So that's, you know, the other thing. Like gas in Ireland at the time was ridiculously expensive. I think it was like €1.65 a litre at the time. It was crazy expensive, but again, I had a pretty good job and I was able to, you know, run the car as a daily. Insurance, my insurance on it actually, because I had the first car a year, so when I got a quote in the second year on the Peugeot, it came down by like 800 euros. So my insurance dropped from like 2,000 down to 1,200. When I got the Supra, it only jumped up an extra 100, which I was delighted. I had the Supra for like 3 years and it came down dramatically. And I just went to town in the Supra. I modified the hell out of it. I wanted a show car to try and win some shows. I got the interior redone, got it stripped out, re-lettered in white and blue leather. It didn't come out the way I wanted to. It was shoddy craftsmanship. I went down to a guy I was recommended to, but he was looking to get into doing interiors and cars. Spent around 1,700 on the interior and he made a shitty job of it. But yeah, that was just, I didn't do anything to the engine. All I cared about was cosmetics. The exhaust system on that car, guys, was unbelievable. It was one of the best sounding NAs I had. It had a nice deep grumble on it. And yeah, I loved that car. It was like my favorite car ever to drive. I really miss it. If this channel gets big enough again, guys, I will definitely get another Supra. And yeah, my first set of chrome wheels, they got destroyed. Went to a car wash, like not like a guy to actually wash my car. Told him do not spray anything on the wheels. He didn't listen to me. Sprayed stuff on the wheels, left them on too long, and they got destroyed. Chrome started peeling off and everything, and he wouldn't pay me shit towards the wheels. So I ended up buying another set of chrome wheels, which are the ones that were on that you're seeing there, and they cost me another like 3,000 euros. And went through another set of teen coilovers. The first ones broke on me, leaked and bust, so I had to get another set of them, another 1,200 euros. I put in a full sound system into the car. I spent 1,000 euros on that. It weighed the thing down like a ton, like it was wood and sheeting and 2 massive audio band speakers. That was a big mistake. Ended up after 6 months taking that out. And yeah, it was my pride and joy. I won 1 or 2 shows with it. And it was like everywhere I went with that car, it just broke necks. The colour was a custom colour. Only my friend, he basically mixed himself. It was like a pearlescent blue, metallic blue with a pearl, kind of silver pearl going through it. And it was just, everybody used to ask me, where can they get the colour code? I goes, there is none, it's custom made. And I even put a glow in the dark flake through that car. I was the first person in Ireland to do it. And I remember pitch dark, I went down to a car meet and we were driving back, pulled over, no lights around, and the whole thing was glowing blue. It lasted around 2-3 months because it was the first time anybody had done it, and it disappeared and ended up resprayed. I resprayed that car 2 or 3 times, I think, and the front bumper was resprayed around 6 from cracking it. My car used to be like that much off the ground on the bumper, maybe just a small bit more, but I used to always crack it because the roads here are shit. And yeah, I had that and ended up going to Australia. Went to Australia, sold the car. Car prices were like down in the pits. Like there was like, you could sell, the car choices back then were so good. We were in a recession, nobody was buying anything. I ended up selling that car for like 3,000 euros. If I had that car now, it would be worth like 13,000 euros. Like, I'm so gutted. I went to Australia, didn't work out, was there for a year. I came home after a year in Australia, moved in with my sister for a while, and bought the next car that's going to come up is a Toyota Celica. It's the 2-litre ST202 SS2. Bought that like for 800 euros. Had it for maybe 6 months or whatever. And my insurance was crazy on it. I ended up trying to pass the NCT. It's like a test that makes sure the car is roadworthy. And just the bushings on this thing, the suspension were fucked. I ended up I put around 800 euros into it to try and get it driving properly. It passed the NCT. Put a lot of money into that car. Great car to drive, but it was just costing me too much. So I ended up like going, screw this. As much as I wanted to modify it, I was like, no. I was like, it's just going to cost me a fortune. So I ended up just swapping that car. I swapped it out for the next car, which is a Honda Civic. It was a 1.3 Honda Civic in 95. I always wanted one, to say I had one. A straight swap. I ended up coming out with a better deal than that guy, because that car, when I gave him that Celica, was not worth what his Civic was worth. I got the Civic and it was already modified, had a standard interior, had a cherry box, back box on it, sounded awesome. And I really didn't do anything to that car. I think I gave it a respray. That was about it to clean it up, respray the wheels. And yeah, I was going to modify the hell out of it and get it a show car material. And then I ended up getting my visa for Canada. That was in 2015. So I was like, screw this, sell the car. And I sold so I got that for a straight swap, and I ended up selling that car for like 2,000 euros, that Honda Civic. That guy, like, I don't know, he really wanted it, so I sold it for 2,000, and I went off to Canada, guys, and I was in Canada from 2015 to 2019, and then yeah, that was it. I moved back here in Ireland in 2019. In Canada, I lived in Toronto for 4 years. I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse, 2001 I think it was, the 2.4 litre. Wow, what a nippy car. That car lasted me up into my very, very last week until I was moving back to Ireland, and the engine blew. It's like it knew. I bought it for $1,000. That thing did me great for the 3 years I had it, and it eventually blew up just my last week before I left. And now I just have a shitty, 2005 3-door Golf outside my house, which hopefully, guys, we can upgrade and get a project car this summer if we can. So I'm sorry if I've rambled on, guys, and this has been really long. I didn't want to make it long, but I need to give you the whole story. This is the kind of cars I like, what I'm into modifying. Tomorrow's video will be what options I'm looking at, money-wise, just basically where I am with, is it a good option for me doing this and my life situation, and how much money I have basically to do this, if it's the right decision, or if I do it, what cars do you think I should go for, and just the pros and cons of what each car I've picked out. So hopefully you like this kind of video, guys. Brought you back some memories of back your younger days and the Fast and Furious days you were from them. And yeah, I just said I'd show you what I used to do and modify, and yeah, hopefully you liked it. So if you watched to the end and loved it and whatever, please do give the channel a chance, support the channel. Smash the subscribe button. All of my regular viewers, you know what to do. Like squad, please like and smash that like button, and do comment below and let me know what you thought of it. I know I'm probably getting a lot of hate, but remember, guys, that was back in the day, and that's the kind of style I was into, and I've learned from then. So this project car, if we do get one in the summer, we'll see how it goes. You'll be heavily involved in making decisions on the mods. So again, guys, thanks very much. Until tomorrow's video, stay safe, peace out, and keep it lit.